So, matches can be started. Let's get this going, underway.
Shoutouts to Social Link.
Oh. Forgot to mute people. Alright, let's go. Let's get started here. Minty versus Yaobeezy.
Alrighty.
And pre-bans are in.
Yao with the ML Tywin portrait. I don't know how I feel about that, buddy.
Yaobeezy. Well, maybe we're gonna see the next ML Tywin coming through.
Maybe. I mean, starting with the conventional picks, right? We see Avildred and Bazaar both being the pre-bans, and SSB coming back to play after being banned out in previous rounds.
See Minty picking up Kayron Fallen Cecilia here. Surprising that we're... Well, I guess we're seeing the Kayron pick into the SSB though, which
yeah,
SSB does kind of counter Kayron a little bit here.
But Fallen Cecilia, very neutral, powerful pick as we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with Crown DN, you know. We're not deviating too far from the norm, at least right now. Although seeing, you know, Minty commit even more to things like spec makes me think that banning SSB might be on his mind, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay to slot a bunch of things that are weak to one particular thing and then just banning that thing out, which is a potentially viable strategy.
We see 3 water units though coming through from Yaobeezy's side already.
Yeah.
The SSB crowd DN pick, and Minty picking up Charles in return for that.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Or both Kayron grids, ice, no problem. Yep. Very true.
We see the maid Chloe being picked up. Oh, picture came in a little bit late, but bans going through, SSB being banned. We expected that.
Yep.
And then Spectre Denebria being banned here on Minty's side.
And again, I think we saw this in the first round matchups. People not slotting in Alencia as powerful as she is against units like DN is interesting. And we saw how impactful they ended up being when they weren't banned out, who were able to go through. Oh, people are saying to take off the...
Yeah, I just saw that too.
Hey man, Aether is content I enjoy.
Wait, that sounds like something from Derp.
What? What?
Ooh, Elbra's procking on Charles here. Gets
Does
the crit
the smash
and
crit
strip
into
on
strip.
Alilius. Charles, we've
Every single
seen
coin.
being the Water Charles version here right now, currently.
Absolutely, just Charles doing Charles things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yo, I didn't even read chat when I said that. Alvin, you know, same wavelength. Charles doing Charles things. You know, we've all had that happen.
Minty opting to do the skill 3 here, grabbing defense buff for his Charles.
Yeah, you can't forget that often that Charles does scale with the number of buffs that he himself possesses.
That A-Ravi being countered here from Yaobeezy could be an issue here or there with so many squishy units here.
Very true. And Maid's healing, as powerful as she is as a supportive unit, isn't that much to keep everyone topped off. We see an Ellie Haas knife K run.
Couldn't kill the Lilius though. A little surprising.
Yeah, it couldn't, yeah.
With attack buff there, I would have expected that K run to actually be able to kill Lilius since there's no buffs on her anyways.
Very true. Although he is full HP, which could play a part to it. If he had his immortality proc, it could be a different story. But Eliha's knife being incredibly threatening nowadays in the PvP Guild War meta, being very consistent damage rather than something like Alexa's, especially if you have someone like Mid Chloe to set up attack buff for the team anyway. I also feel like I always overestimate how much the Lilius pushback is. You know?
I think the main thing from Lilius though is that she gets her she gets a bit of pushback, but she also gains combat readiness, letting her lap the enemy team.
Very true. Doesn't really have many clean provoke targets with the S2, you know.
Ooh, resistance from the K-Ron.
But like, you know, even if you were to, like, you would never do it onto Charles, for example, because you're just gonna get, you know, Charles things happening. It's just sort of a lose-lose situation there. The resist does feel bad though. Ravi putting in the hurt.
Proccing the K-Ron immortality, but K-Ron does get the turn soon here, which means very likely this Lilius is gonna die next turn then.
The resist from Crow on the provoke from the FCC.
Do we get a provoke from the Crow on the K-Ron?
That would be an interesting play. It would be a gamble. Does land it, and then there's the Charles counterattack from the Elbrus into the smash. Exactly what you would expect.
No strip though.
Didn't land the strip, so we have the full. And we saw Crow resist a bunch of stuff earlier. It's reasonable to assume, just from looking at it, that it is a resist Crow.
So the K-Ron's immortality is gone now.
There's the potential of soul burning mid Chloe just for the extra sustained turn. Doesn't do it. Dual attacks, lands the provoke onto Lilius.
That's gonna hurt a bit.
That really does, because Lilius was going to be the next turn. And she just had it. And could have potentially chosen to go into the Crow there. There's the bop onto the Crow from the Charles, so we did not get to see an S3 play out.
Ravi is gonna get her skill 3 off here though, and because of that though, I'm pretty certain Ravi can kill the K-Ron, and then Crow's gonna get the skill 3 up once he's revived.
100%.
And then he's gonna be able to horse someone here straight up.
It would have been better for Yao if Maid Chloe's turn orders happens to be different, so that she didn't have the buff right now. Choosing to soul burn the Crow S3 so that he gets an extra turn.
Goes for the kill on the Charles, taking care of Charles here.
And S2 from Crow will kill the K-Ron again, most likely. And that's exactly what he goes for. Does not get a crit. Doesn't matter. There we go.
Still gets the kill.
Yeah. Now we're looking at a 4v2 situation. Maid only has, I think, one more turn after this before her next cooldown. Yeah. Another turn after this next one. Yeah. She can choose to soul burn. Don't know if he commits to it this turn, because he will still have to wait. He does choose to go for it. Doesn't get a stun.
Minty trying to hope for the stuns. Oh, lands a stun. Second stun here on Lilius this time.
But Diane has her S2 up. Unfortunate.
Yeah, Lilius had another debuff on her, so that being the debuff that will get cleansed first.
Burb back. Sorry.
The Burb is here helping us commentate.
What was it? What was that, Spotty? All right, okay. He's analyzing the play-by-play and commenting on the fact that we see somewhat of a reset, but with Crow being the next turn, Kayron can potentially just insta-die again.
Most likely Kayron is gonna die to this there.
Yeah, he's got attack buff on. He gets the crit, sealing the deal on the Kayron right there. Once Lilius goes, oh, she was provoked, unfortunate. We're seeing some big hits coming.
Charles is gonna get a turn though, but having so many buffs up right now, I doubt anyone's gonna die on Yaobeezy's side, even if Charles gets a turn.
Yeah.
Decides to go for DN.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the
think
smash.
That's the right move. Unfortunate, he gambled for the extra damage. I think that was the right play. Lilius obviously is fire. Crow had skill nullifier. Yaobeezy could counter. So DN was his only safe play. He gambled for the smash, did not get it, and that's Yao with game 1.
Yaobeezy taking game 1 here. Do you remember who got the first pick last time?
I think it was Yao SSB.
Okay, so that means Minty would have to get the first pick this game.
Someone fact check me on that.
I forgot to keep track of.
I'm getting old. I'm getting old.
Whoa.
I don't remember.
But that first game I would say was decently close there. I think a big part of that is if the crowd didn't get the provoke on the Kayron that one turn, there's a very likely chance that Minty could have turned things around there, possibly being able to nuke out Lilius there since she does have HP. All right,
100%, I agree. And another thing with Crow and his power in the late game is that, especially with his Soul Burn S3, being able to kill 2 targets right off the bat on the mid Chloe revive is just such an insane value for a supportive unit.
That's true too.
Because, all the momentum, what you've slotted this mid Chloe in for, just completely gets mitigated with your 20 souls, which by the time mid Chloe's passive comes into effect, S3 buffs come to an effect on the second rotation of her skill, the enemy probably will have the souls. But we see Minty take away the SSB from Yao on the first pick, obviously very contested. No, it feels sort of like a swapped reverse draft.
Yeah, we see the Seaside DN Yaobeezy on Minty's side, but we see the Lilius Charles on Yaobeezy's side here. So we are pretty much just swapping the drafts, except we get Alencia.
And like we had talked about before, Alencia being incredibly powerful into DN, being one of the strongest units. It's a counter or decounter meta.
Alencia is a really good unit, especially against also let's say Mei Chloe, because she has strips, she's tanky, but then she has the damage to still be a bit of a threat. Having skill 1 defense break along into skill 2, as long as you have Mind's Eye.
Yeah, and Mind's Eye, being able to proc your damage after the armor break is just such insane value from a unit. Being able to set up for yourself, especially as you get into the late game with a lot of these frenzies, it's just a complete execution. Seeing the Ruel being locked in. A lot of really good fire units in this meta. Don't know if Minty has them built or invested, or if we're going to see one here today.
Minty thinking hard on what to pick here.
Hovering on the fire tennis.
Still not choosing. Wow, Minty thinking real hard on what to take here.
Yeah, a couple more seconds. Fire Tenor is the one that's hovered though, and
Okay,
she is
does pick
in.
up Fire Tenebria. So, Minty taking both Tenebrias, having only one support though, being DN here.
Right.
And Yao takes up Champion Zerato. So, gonna hide the bans real quick. Okay, bans coming through. We see the Champion Zerato ban, guaranteed from Minty's side, and we see the Spectre Tenebria ban.
And depending on the turn order, you know, we could potentially be looking at something similar to the last round of one of the sets where Fire Tenebria landed her S3 and there was a sweep after that.
Everyone being on immunity here makes it a lot more difficult this time.
Right.
Charles gets the Charles doing Charles things as expected. Gets the crit and the strip on Tenebria.
Smilegate, if you're watching, never make another unit like Charles ever again. Ever.
And we do see the Charles turn here, going for the skill 3 to get the attack defense buff.
That was hard. That was unfortunate. We see the drink proc, which is an artifact that Gabe does not have. Sorry.
I'm leaving.
All right, my stream. Hey guys, what's up? I'm SkyKey. We see Alencia S3 come off. We'll see if he lands the strips. Does
land the strip.
The counter attack from Ravi, and now
Lilius having defense break here might pose a bit of an issue. It's gonna take a lot more damage here.
True, but Alencia also set up the defense buff, which, while not completely one-to-one, still helps out.
Ruel does have the heal though, so
yeah.
Is Yaobeezy gonna opt to heal Lilius?
I'd say so. I think that is the smarter play. We see the S3 come off. Let's see if the debuffs land and if Charles...
The biggest issue here is that Charles does have... Doesn't proc the Elbrus.
No Elbrus at all. And she did land the crit and both debuffs onto Charles. He still does have his buffs, obviously, since Minty does not have a strip. If he lands a smash post SSB counter, that's a dead.
Nope. But Lilius does have the dual attack here. Oh.
Choosing to cleanse the debuffs from SSB's counter away. I think that's smart. Even if you were to go for the guaranteed kill with an S1, well, 2 out of 3 kill with S1 onto SSB.
So that was a bit of a surprising thing though, because he went for the cleanse even though Tenebria, I guess, return was coming up. And okay. Lands the sleep on both Lilius and Charles, and this is definitely getting a lot more dangerous for Yao now.
100%. I also will say killing the SSB with the previous rotation, while it would have been extremely powerful, I think he may have chosen to sit on it, anticipating Ravi having her S3, which she does. The issue is now all 4 targets are free kills. Not just the defense broken Lilius as the previous rotation before he S3'd.
And the thing is, we're going to see the Ravi's turn is coming up next. She can skill 3, most likely anyone here, and most likely get the kill, I imagine.
We're seeing the emotes come into play, which is a very, very powerful tactic in this game.
The mind games with the emotes.
Yes, particularly the Laughing Ross emote.
Oh, he opts to go for the Ravi with a skill 3. Okay.
The Rel, oof, that's a popped. It's an interesting choice. The reason I'm saying that is because at that point in time, Roel had expended her cooldowns, so she was going to be a sitting duck for a few turns anyway. But by the same margin, you know, like Fire Tenor did her thing. She did her job. Waiting on your cooldowns until the right opportunity, I think really did a world of good for Minty right here. Playing the Fire Tenebria really well.
Charles not getting a kill on C side here, and I think at this point, this match is Minty's, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is game.
Yeah, the Tenebria, once she got the turn there, really pretty much just took the game home.
100%, yeah.
All right, second match goes to Minty. Score being 1-1. A lot of these games being a lot closer.
Oh yeah, good gameplay too as well. I definitely can see the thought process behind Yao's turns with Lilius, as I explained earlier. But I do think saving DS3 and gambling on Lilius with being the one to resist could have made an impact there.
That's true. And we do get it. We switch over. Score being 1-1. Pre-bans being Eviljet and Yao banning the Tenebria. PTSD from last match.
Responding to the previous game. I think that was a smart decision.
And we see we do see Seaside Bologna here. Getting picked up on Yaobeezy's side.
Seeing the Queen DN being picked prioritized so heavily early on in the rounds, every single match.
Yeah, every single match. I'm pretty sure. I feel like we've seen DN in every single match that we've gone through almost here.
Yeah, for sure.
And Ravi also getting picked up a lot more often than I expected, to be honest. We do see Alencia getting picked up on Yaobeezy's side. Neither side taking the Lilius Charles this time, though. And we do see... Ooh, first time I've seen Bassar get picked up this tournament, though. And Minty taking on Bassar. And he picks up the Charles. Bit of an interesting pick, I feel like.
There we go, there we go. Sorry, DC for a bit.
Oh, welcome back, welcome back.
Thank you. See, my Wi-Fi decided to take it for a bit.
Okay, and we see the champion Zerato coming in response to Bassar.
Interesting that it's one of the first, if not the first, Bassar pick going through that we have seen so far today.
And we see, we see
Sullivan, man.
Katie's being picked up here. Minty thinking real hard, waiting for that last little bit to pick up a unit here. He takes Spectre to Tenebria. Gotta hide the bands here, real quick. I feel like for Minty's case here, the champion Zerato pick. So the champion Zerato is definitely someone he'll want to ban. And we do see the champion Zerato getting banned here, along with the Spectre Tenebria being banned.
Almost started my blue snacks. One sec. Oops. Alrighty.
Alright. Bassar obviously starting off the match with skill 3. Getting the strips here, hopefully. No Soulburn though, but it does get all the strips except for Katie's.
Except the Kates. Octaves. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that, barring anything else from happening, Alencia can also respond by stripping the buffs.
Both of them having a stripper on both sides here makes
Right.
the buffs a lot.
Does land the smash on a 0 buff SSB.
That SB took a big chunk of damage already. Not landing a single defense break though, unfortunately. And Minty giving the emote before the Ravi skill 3.
Yeah. The sheer damage coming out from Minty early game is incredible. Putting Yao on an extreme back foot coming back into this, because with Alencia as his only dedicated damage dealer, to burn through a Charles, to burn through as the primary threat on Minty's team. Even if that were to happen, the second someone else gets low, Ravi can potentially just revive it off.
This is it's hard to honestly, it's hard to see Yaobeezy coming back from this, unfortunately, because SSB was a big part of his damage here.
It truly was, especially since Ravi is self-sustaining as a unit as well. With her passive being able to heal off of every hit, so long as she fills up that bar, and we see the counter into the counter.
See the counter, yeah.
It's hard to say if the smash proc really mattered or not, because we saw how much damage that Ravi S3 did. But nonetheless, SSB dying indeed is a huge win condition that Minty has fulfilled.
I think this really has to bank on Alencia being able to slowly pick off people while staying alive here, because at the same time, Fallen Cecilia does look like she does. Lazar landing a stun on Alencia here, unfortunately.
And Akadi's may have skills up to help alleviate some of that. And goes for the S2 on herself, just to top off Alencia via the Rod of Marilis while keeping herself completely protected. It's very dangerous, I think, to run comps like this where you have pocket units like Akadi's, however you want to say it, that are incredibly powerful sustained units, and an MVP of most people's guild war. But you're offering a lot of soft protection and utility around your damage dealers when, if they're squishy like that and you know you're not going to get turn 1 because of the enemy choosing to play the speed game with Basar, once the unit you were trying to protect dies, you really can't recover from that as well.
And Yaobeezy is left with just Alencia now, because Fallen Cecilia does fall. And
people in chat try hard just nuked his wife who's right before he loses them. Oh, try hard, that's funny.
This is
the first, I think, major upset, I think, in the tournament so far, right? Because the majority for the previous 2 rounds were like, I think, 60% and 70% for the winner that ended up winning. This was the most.
That was definitely one of the more surprising ones there.
Yeah, it was heavily skewed in one way, and then there was a big upset. Yeah. Congrats to everyone who bet Minty.
Yeah, congrats to everyone who bet Minty.
With the big waifus.
Minty does bring home the win.